everyone, I'm Jillian Lopez.
I'm Miranda Lopez, and we are the Social Sisters.
And we like to welcome everyone into our family.
We invite you all to sit back, get comfy, and jump into the hot seat. The hot seat being our teeny tiny cute couch.
So let's get to it.
Our guest today steals the hearts of everyone who comes to see him perform at Magic Mike Live. He's a singer, dancer, actor, model, and he's got that Channing Tatum body roll mastered to a T.
So our couch has made its way to the Magic Mike Live stage here at Sahara Las Vegas, and we are so excited to welcome the talented David Terry.
You guys are going to make me blush. I can't say all those things about me.
That's the point. You have quite the resume. But we would love to, take it back to where this all started. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you ended up here in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I grew up doing performing arts like ever since grade school. My parents kind of threw myself and my brother into like musical theater and choir. I was doing professional traveling choir in fourth grade, I think. So that's how I got into music initially, and then on to college. I went to college for vocal performance and acting, and after that I went out to New York City because I thought, oh, I'm gonna do Broadway or musical theater or something, because that's what everybody was doing at my school. And yeah, I worked for a production company for a little bit out there for a while, and then because I just wanted to see kind of the other side of what I was getting into, so I thought that would be kind of a good business strategy. Long story short, I ended up auditioning for Magic Mike Live out in New York, and that has brought me out here. So
sounds like you were meant to be on stage though, and you knew that from an early age. But what's it like now performing in Magic Mike Live? What's your favorite part?
I think making a connection with a total stranger every night is one of the coolest things, and having such an intimate moment where even if it's just a moment of eye contact with somebody else, and it does a lot. And especially nowadays, people we're getting back out of the house and everything, and getting back into the public. So I think it's really important to have those authentic human interactions, and that's something that I really appreciate about the show, is that it allows for that. It's not just us dancing on stage and performing for you. It's about making you feel taken care of and having a good time and feeling safe.
Well, obviously Magic Mike is such a fun show, and it's about more than just the dancing. I mean, you yourself, you sing in the show. What do you think makes Magic Mike Live here in Vegas so unique compared to all the other shows?
I think again, it's that individual attention that we're able to give to people, and it's not just, again, it's not just look at me, I'm trying to be sexy dancing for you or singing for you, whatever it is. It's not about me, it's about the audience members. So I think it allows for that really cool, authentic, one-on-one situation. So whereas you normally be watching a proscenium stage and just watching the show happen, and this fully immerses you in everything. So I think there's not a ton of that in this city, or for that matter, in a lot of places. So I think that's what makes it really cool.
So you're one of the lucky ones who also gets to sing during the show. Do you ever get nervous when you take the mic?
The times that I get nervous are when I have friends come to the show. I mean, I can sing for strangers any day, but it's when I know somebody in the audience, or I don't typically get starstruck, but especially if there's a singer or another artist in the audience that I really, really respect, and I get super nervous for that. So, but other than that, no, I love it. It's so much fun to do, and they've made such a cool environment for us here. So
yeah, the theater is awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
You're singing, you're jumping around the levels.
Everywhere,
you have a zip line in here.
Zip line.
What?
It's a playground. It's like you released 13, 12-year-olds all over, however old we were when we were playing on playgrounds. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's so much fun.
Well, you're killing it here at Magic Mike Live, but also you have quite the career. Let's talk about your singing. You have a new video out. Yeah. Tell us about that.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy to think about. It was a project that myself and Jack Rayner, who does the music actually for the show and the movies and a lot of other TV shows. So he helped co-write it along with our friend Fox Sinclair, who's also a writer. And so we have the first single out, and it was just kind of, I don't know if I really want to pursue the whole artist route per se, but I enjoy creating with other people and just working on projects and collaborating. So I think it was just something that we were like, hey, let's work on this. Let's work on an EP, a few other songs coming out hopefully soon, and let's just release it and see where it goes. So, and then I had a couple of the other cast members in the show as well. We have Linda Garisto and Ryan Piers in the video, so it was fun and Anton Engel, who directed it and shot the video. So just fun things to do with your friends if you can keep creating. So yeah, but yeah, the music side, it's something that I've done since a young age, and out in New York I was backup singing for artists like Bastille, and doing like SNL and David Letterman and stuff for artists. So it's something that I always kind of want to keep a part of what I do, but I don't know if I'm gonna, full blown. It's a tough career, and not to be scared of it, but at the same time, it's like you really gotta want it. So, and I think myself personally, I'm along with the live performing, I really want to do more of the film and TV stuff. So that's more the goal ahead.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that led me to my next question.
Yes.
Oh,
we are
okay.
dying to know,
Yeah.
because we're huge Hillary Duff fans. So we have to
Rightfully
know.
so.
Yes. What was it like being on How I Met Your Father and working with her? And I mean, you were in the very first pilot episode. That is so exciting. We have to know.
I woke up one morning when the trailer was supposed to drop, and I mean, I had a small part in it, so I was like thinking nothing of it. But my friend texted me, he's like, "Yo, you're in the trailer," and I was like, "What?" Oh, okay, great, cool, okay, great. So that was kind of wild. But Hillary's fantastic. That whole cast was so fun to be able to meet and interact with. But she's a class act.
She was our first
so.
concert, fun fact.
really?
Hillary
That's
Duff, yes. Which makes me want to ask you what your very first concert was.
Man,
Putting you on the spot here.
Yeah, I think my first big concert was NSYNC, No Strings Attached. Actually,
That's
yeah,
Love
And
it.
I'm pretty sure I told Lance when he came to the show, I was like, "Yeah, you guys were my first big concert," and yeah, he may or may not talk to me anymore. So it's like, yeah, it's okay. I'm not creeping. I promise.
Meeting our heroes,
yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah, it's
Amazing.
like who you looked up to, and especially like being a performer myself and singer. I'm the boy bands and that whole generation of those groups coming up was just like who you looked up to and who you wanted to be. So.
And now it's fun, like you're in Vegas, they all come out here and you get to meet everyone.
And they've been, a few of them have come through or met them in some other capacity here, and also nice, so great. So.
Well,
yeah,
and
really
so
cool.
back to your role real quick and How I Met Your Father.
Yeah.
Obviously you kind of played the jerky guy in the beginning, but like what's your dream role as you get into it more? Like what do you enjoy most?
I don't know. Listen, I'm a huge nerd, so I would love to do some big sci-fi movie or TV show. I love Star Wars. I love Star Trek. I know people say pick a religion, but I can't choose between the two. But so something like that would be a dream role. But I think just a regular on some sort of TV series, like a great TV series, and something that's a sitcom would be really fun. But I also would love to do something that's a little bit more impactful and it makes you think a little bit. So, because again, I think that's why I love performing arts so much, is that it has a reach where a lot of people otherwise wouldn't be able to, influence in a good way.
So you've kind of done everything. Obviously, you're dancing here. You've been on shows across the strip. You sing. You were in an award show. We saw you presenting. So what inspires you to keep trying new things and the next best thing?
I think just, my biggest competition is myself, and I just want to keep creating and doing new things, experiencing new things, and meeting new people in this industry. I just find that so exciting, and seeing what everybody else is doing, and I get so inspired by watching everybody else and what they're doing, and like this is so amazing that you have created this show for you guys. I mean, that's so cool, and a lot of people don't they don't realize how much it takes to go in to do that. So yeah, I think just pushing for that next level, and it's like you ask yourself when's enough. But I think again for me it's it's getting to that point in my career that doing shows like this that are meaningful and they do have an impact on people. You know, you see people walk away from the show as like skin deep, you can call it and be like, oh, it's just Magic Mike Live, but people walk away a lot of times where they're like, thank you, like that made my whole year. Like I haven't had literally human interaction in such a long time, and so just thanks for coming over and saying hi kind of thing. So it's doing more of that kind of makes it worthwhile for me, and I want to do that.
Yeah, and I mean, this industry is cutthroat and everyone's kind of going after the same thing. How do you kind of stay positive if you ever get down, or like, it's gotta be hard.
Oh man, I don't know, it is, you know, you just gotta keep going, and for every 100 no's, you get one yes in this industry, and unfortunately, I call myself cautiously optimistic, and you know, you're not going to get everything, and you just gotta keep going. And for myself, I think I keep low expectations just so I won't be disappointed. But you know, it's kind of sometimes the attitude that you have to have, especially auditioning over and over and over and over again. It's like, it's okay. You'll get the next one, or just try the next time, because if you get like married to a role that you're like, I'm definitely going to get this, I'm definitely going to get this every time, it's just going to break you down like so fast. And that's how I feel a lot of people get burned out in this industry. So you got to find new ways to quote unquote fill your cup, and you know what makes you happy in this. And so it's finding the little things in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've really immersed yourself into the Vegas community, and coming from New York, like, what do you love most about this city? I feel like everyone just kind of supports each other, especially in this world.
Absolutely. I think you just said it right there. I think we're such a tiny bubble, and everybody kind of knows one another. And I mean, things like Monday's Dark at the Space is such a cool community, doing like the charity stuff, and all the performers support each other, and it's great. It's really cool. I mean, New York had pockets of that, but you didn't. Everybody kind of had their own thing going on, so it's really cool. Everybody goes to each other's shows and restaurants and openings and everything. So I feel like we're really spoiled, and we're like in a bubble here, but it's really cool. Yeah, and unique.
Yeah.
But
we're lucky to be part of it.
Yes.
So we were talking about Lance Bass earlier, but I gotta ask, has anyone else come through the show that you've been really excited about? I mean, we always see people posting about Magic Mike Live.
We've had some wonderful people come through. I think one of the times I kind of geeked out again was Janet Jackson coming to the show, and she was, you know, just the nicest, and she had a great time. Also, again, being a huge nerd, the Russo brothers came to the show, and they enjoyed it. And this was right before the last Avengers movie came out, and I was like, so what's happening in that next movie? But it was like, oh, you're gonna cry. I was like, don't say that, man. Like, you can't tell me that. Yeah, we've had lots of great people, lots of great artists, actors, dancers, everybody from the industry come through, and yeah, I think most everybody has really enjoyed themselves.
Oh yes, we always do. We love it. And obviously now you've been exposed to these huge artists. This is probably something you always thought was possible, but what do you wish you could tell your younger self as you were diving into this entertainment world?
I feel like don't be so afraid. And that's so, I don't know, it's so simple, but I think, you know, we get in our heads a lot of time, and I think just kind of go for it. Just be yourself and go for it, because a lot of times you're trying to, in this industry, you're trying to impress one person or another, and it's just like, you know, ultimately who you are is going to come through eventually. So it's yeah, I think just don't be so afraid, and just kind of go for it would be my advice to my younger self. So.
I love it. And you know, you said earlier, you know, when is enough? And we always ask ourselves that. You're striving for that next goal, and then you finally get to it, and it's like you always want more. Yeah. But I think, and this is just kind of how we see it, and I was wondering if you agree, of like, it's okay to kind of get to that point, and then you just keep pushing forward because you're inspired to dream bigger. Absolutely. And like, is that how you kind of live your life of like, what's next?
I think so. I think, you know, if I've reached a certain goal and it's like, oh, this something that I've seen inspires me to do something else, then absolutely. I think that's okay, because I mean, you know, a lot of people will be like, all right, it's enough. Like, you've done this, you've done that. It's like, well, no, but you could also go over here and do this too. So I don't know. I have so many interests too, and I think that's also part of my problem is just focusing on one thing that I really enjoy, so I'll get immersed in something. I'll be like, oh wait, but I also want to do this too. So, but yeah, no, I think that's an excellent point. It's like, no, I get inspired by this, then maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
So,
It's not a problem. I think it's a good thing to
It's a
always
good thing
try
to have.
things,
Yeah,
and
for
yeah.
sure.
Well, you've already had such an amazing career, and we can't wait to see where you go next. And it's just so fun. I'm sure you just love every night. You get to just let loose and hang out with the guys. How are the rest of the guys? You guys all close knit and like a family?
Yeah. I mean, it's a bunch of, we're like siblings at this point, and it's a good group. So, and being with like the original cast from the very beginning, and doing creation, and with our creatives, with Allison, Teresa, Luke, and Channing, obviously, and it's been a really cool run. So very special experience. So
Just have to say, you've made it when you're referring to Channing Tatum on a first name basis. I mean, yeah, Channing. It was
Sure, yeah,
Channing,
yeah.
call him up. Casual.
no, good people. So it's feel very fortunate to be working for them. So.
Well, David, you have had such an incredible career so far, and I can't wait to see where you go next. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, and we love supporting
Thank you so much
We'll
for
see you
having
next
me.
time
Absolutely.
on stage. It's weird to like see you in clothes, but it's fine.
We'll throw some extra dollar bills in
Yeah,
there
great.
next time.
Perfect.
Thank you so
Much
much,
appreciated.
David.
Thank you all.
If you're interested in sharing your story, send a message to hello@thesocialsisters.co.
And tell us why you deserve a seat on our teeny tiny cute black and white couch, because in our family, there's room for everyone.